Howdy, howdy, and welcome back to another Lord of Heroes PvP tier list breakdown. And we're going to be talking about week 4 and all of the nice updates and changes. And I have my co host here, Acromia, to help me with the meta breakdown and everything that we got going on.
Hey, hey, hey,
All
here
right.
I am.
We are live on Twitch too as well. So you can come check me out live at twitch.tv /gamerdude2088. All right. So we're gonna start off with going into the top 100 and just showing off some of the top defenses. I think like the top 10 of what we got. This guy at the very top that's a part of Seventh Heaven. This guy deserves to be number one. Been number one for the last couple weeks now. And hats off to that dude. Hashtag send it to the PayPal. I want some of that monies too. All right, but we instantly noticing some different changes within the meta. We have got our contract heroes, so now we got people using Kron, Basilica, and Lyre as well. And you're going to see a lot of defenses with Kron, and they just gave us our first paid hero, which they added in Arslan, just like how it was in the original Korean release. So we're seeing a shift in the meta where there's not just two turn bar boosters, three and even four sometimes, depending on the individual and what they're using.
It, yeah, like especially the Crom and the Arslan, you don't go anywhere in the top 100 without seeing them. Basically, like there's a few that only uses the Arslan and the Dark Rosanna, but definitely Arslan in exactly every team. Nobody's running without him.
Not at all, not in the least bit.
But there's a reason for it. His kit is just perfect. So like if you want to have a turn booster, you don't get much better than him.
And not only that you got the turn boost with them, you have the AoE attack buff for your team, plus an ignore defense skill on his burst, which you can build them hybrid, you can build them pure support for the team, or you can just build them for damage.
Yeah, and with the warrior set for revenge, he just auto attacks back with the insanely high attack down boost. So it's just ridiculous.
And definitely one to look out for if you're looking to climb into the top 100. And you're going to see him scattered out throughout all of it, especially once you get above like the top 50 or so. Then this week for the top guilds, we do have like some of the top players coming out of the guilds like Seventh Heaven and Oath T. But the same kind of guilds from last week where we have EOG with a bunch of their players, Superior with a bunch of their players. We have Ionizers, Overlord. We got a few of them. Like you just look through and it's just plenty of these guys just hanging around in the top 100. As I scroll through the list, you can kind of see, I believe, Final Boss as well. Zodiac
Yeah.
Dojo, where y'all at? Where y'all at? They mid game now. They getting there. You see that all the way through, that these guys aren't playing. They're out for business. They're trying to knock everybody down and take over. And you can see also that we're starting to climb as further as the ranks go in general. We above 2K, and I believe last week we were just hitting in 1700 at that time. So this changing is getting us more opportunity, and the things are starting to flesh out. We're starting to see who's really belonging up here in the ranks, where in the prior weeks it was more so of whoever just played kind of just got up there if they was choosing to get up there. Now we're seeing the people that are actually pushing, that are that's getting fast. So another thing, if you're looking to get into the top 100, make sure you're over 200 speed, because you're going to have a hard time staying up here if you're not.
It's not only the people that's playing though. They did this fun thing earlier today that I noticed that they pushed what the guy that was at top earlier today, just like 5 hours ago, all the way down to spot 20. That's not something one person do. That's three or four people attacking him over and over again to push him down. So it, it comes a bit with the shady tactics as well.
Definitely it'd be a lot of win trading involved. When you have multiple members of your guild together, you can just purposely attack each other strategically to boost each other. That is a possible thing. I don't know if anyone's doing that, but that's definitely something that could be going on.
Well, I mean, he was over 2,000 points, and now he's down to 1,800. So it's a bit weird in a few hours if they didn't do something extreme.
Now we're gonna take a look over here at the tier list. We're gonna go to the last week's tier list, looking at who was in there. We gotta add a bunch new heroes into the list and everything, and we're gonna just get we're gonna get both of our perspectives on who should be S, A, B, C tier for this week. So I guess we gotta kind of put everybody in. I'm sure there's no disagreement with putting our newest outlier Arslan in the S tier.
No, definitely not. It's almost like you want to put a whole new god tier just for him.
Just for him,
Right now.
just for him, just give him his own tier.
Yeah, pretty much. At least at this point in the game.
So we're gonna go ahead and give him his own tier. It's only right. It's only right to give.
Yeah, actually, like I mean, if people dispute, give me facts because right now, if you go into the top 100 and you say that Arslan is not king, then I don't know what game you're playing, but it's not the global.
Yeah, he does way too much not to be in the position that he's in this game.
Yeah, well, the problem is there's no equal at the moment. Like, there's no equal contract, there's no equal other cash hero at the moment that does anything to counter him, or does anything better than him. And he works everywhere. You can build him in any way, and he still does his job. That's the big thing.
Right. And I think if they gave us the fire one, then maybe he'd be in contention. But it's still him. So
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
all right, I'm gonna go ahead and slap the light Olivia and the green Laphaels in the S tier. Because I mean, what you think
Yeah.
about them?
I mean, you got the Green Lavi, which has just insane damage, and he does his job as a one-man tank if you build him like that as well. And then you have the Green Olivia, which is just pay to win.
Yeah.
Like, she costs like fuck, and honestly, I don't think she's really worth it because you can build teams to counter her or build around her. But at this stage in the game, she does so fucking much,
So
and it's
much.
really hard. It's really hard to do anything to her.
Yeah, until you're able to get like teams really decked out and built, it's just like coming across her and she moves before you're not taking a turn.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, I mean, she's. I think it's pretty much safe to say she's the best damage debuffer right now in the entire game. If you have her paid, which makes her really, really annoying.
So let's take a look at the contract heroes. We can slap Chrome and I believe Lyre into S as well.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Crom definitely. Lyre is a bit situational, but
Situational. So what you think? She may be more of an A tier than an S?
I think so, maybe, yeah, because you can't use her really for everything with every team like that, like Crom, because she does her job of decreasing defense, decreasing attack, and all that, but it's not amazing, like it's not like a game changer to have her in the team, really.
Yeah, and then her death break is better suited for the PVE part of the game, not so much for the
Yeah,
PvP since it's her first skill. And then
yeah, like
her second one, even though she does AoE damage, the resistance debuff really doesn't matter.
exactly. So like she's really really good for progressing story, really good for raids and stuff like that, but when it comes to PvP, she doesn't flesh your team out like a Crom would do in this case. If you chose Crom for the first contract hero, I believe you were pretty much in the right if you're going for PvP,
PvP,
because
yeah.
it's all about that action gauge booster right now. Like
All right.
you can't really beat that.
Well, yeah, speed is king. All right. So, what do you think about
Always.
Lasilica? Where do you think she stack up in the PvP?
Oh, I would say probably B, because the thing is, right? She has amazing single target damage, right? Like it's really, really high. But she is, I think, according to me at least, she's pretty much a pure raid hero, like pure, because you want her put in that fucking alliance raid, and you want to be standing there and just killing it over and over and over again.
Just wrecking the boss. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like the way I feel about single target dealers in PvP is they have a place, but it's not something that prevalent. Like it's cool to be able to sniper target, but you have to be able to snipe that target, and if you can't, then there's going to be difficulties. And then when you have defenses that have heroes like the blue Venessa, you're going to be in trouble if you're bringing a single target dealer into the fight, because even if you snipe a target, if it's not the blue Vanessa herself, then she's just going to bring them back. And then if you do snipe her, then you at risk of taking damage from whatever they damage dealers are, and chances are they're going to bring AoE.
well, the majority do at this
Yeah,
point at least. So it's really hard to try and build a team for single target if you're going up to people that are running the Helgas, the blue pup, the red pup, the green Mei Ling, which we're seeing a rise of and stuff like that.
oh yeah. Green Mei Ling is definitely one that's been getting a lot more play, because it was only a few people, including myself, that was using her in the first couple of weeks. But I guess since the Chrome and Arslan came out, more people want to compete, so they've been bringing a lot of the Green Mei Ling in there.
But she's a bit cheaper and easier to get, like the contra tiers are free, sure, but you have to wait for them. Like she's still just 3,000 crystals. Oh, so you can still get her pretty much easily,
Yeah,
and she is an action gauge booster, not as a big one, but people saw what happened when the Crom and the Arslan came and how they just couldn't do shit and the entire team was dead. So now they started to realize they need them, and then they get them.
yeah, to be able to compete. And then she still has the highest base speed for a turn bar booster in the
Yeah,
game. Yeah, so you can't lose there. And even though Chrome is the only booster so far that has speed on his passive, it doesn't go onto his base. It's just added in later.
yeah. Exactly, and the Mei Ling, worth to note, has terrific damage as well.
Oh yeah,
And she's not just an action gauge boost; has terrific damage.
it's I think two people that's on the top 100 that I've seen that had one that was slightly slower, but one guy that outsped me with their melee and did tremendous damage, nearly wiped my whole team just with her alone. And it was just like,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
she does amazing work. So, like, don't underestimate her just because her action gauge booster is lower than the others.
Back to some of the single target dealers. I have been seeing Astrid again. Like last week, she was just completely out. I didn't see her anywhere. But this week, I've seen the red Astrid specifically a little
Yeah,
more. But she was
exactly.
really strong. I would say S tier like the first 2 weeks, but now I just don't think she has that same luster because she's a single target dealer. So I'm thinking she's probably somewhere between B and A.
The thing about her is people are using her for a sniper as well, right? Like most single targets. But the difference with the Red Astrid is that, she scales with speed as well. So she gets really, really fast and she hits like a truck. And it's a low cooldown second skill as well with just 2 turns. And it hurts, but yeah. I would probably put her in B for now and just chill a week and see if more people pick her up and she starts doing more. But because right now she's not frequent, right? You see her maybe like once every 5 fights if you're lucky, if even that much. And if you look through the top 100, you see her maybe 4 or 5 times. But
Right.
she she does her work, don't get me wrong. Like for the current meta, she's probably the best single target or close to the top at least.
Yeah.
But
Then we got like the Dirty Bird as well. One of my
yeah,
favorites. I was using him a lot in the first couple of weeks, but he's one that I've taken out of my team just because I don't have the right gear to get him fast enough to move when I need him to move. So I was kind of like running the Red Joshua to kind of protect him. But now that I have Arslan in my team, I don't need either or. So it's just boost my team and do AoE damage as best as I can. I'm
yeah.
slapping him in B tier because he is seen a little bit, but he's just like Ash. He's just like the Red Astrid and the Green Basilica. Single target dealer. They great at sniping targets, just not enough right now.
Yeah, like it's the same story really, but it's like I told you, like if I see that bird in one of the teams, even if it's 1, 2, 3 point, I still attack them because I want to see if they built him right. Because when you see that 70k crit on the first turn, you laugh your ass off. You just totally deleted that character, like so it's fucking hilarious. But at the same time, right, he doesn't do that much. He has the potential actually to be both tanky and be able to one shot people, but we're not seeing that yet. I would put
Uh,
him in the same tier, probably around B, maybe C
I,
even.
I, you know what? I will actually opt for C just because he still yet has received his ascension. Once he receives
Yeah,
his ascension, it's going to be so much easier to build him, and that's a lot of damage that's missing. So yeah, I'll
yeah,
probably
it
drop
is.
him. I'll probably drop him there now, just for that alone. And then I haven't seen Dark Mikhail as much this week, as if any at all this week. So I'm not even sure if I should add him to the list. Like, have you seen too many?
Not really. Like
Okay, yeah.
the entire week, like really not a lot, but it's because like Michaela is still a solid A,
Now
right?
there are some heroes that are commonly used, but are at the bottom of the top 100, and these are some of the ones that I will put around B and C tier, like the Light Johan, Green Charlotte. They're commonly seen, but not in the higher parts of the rankings.
Exactly.
Red Vanessa is another one that's seen commonly. She's actually seen a little bit in the higher ranks too. I had one fight in particular where I got out tanked by Red Vanessa. I was so disappointed,
Yeah.
but it was one person that did it. I still don't think she's the best. Blue Vanessa's probably a lot better in that regard.
Vanessa is a lot more versatile, right? But people build Red Vanessa for the
Yeah,
story, and
for the
that
story.
happens.
And I
And,
haven't seen
and
enough Blue Vanessas personally to get her into the S tier that she kind of
no,
belongs in. But I think she's a
she
solid
belongs
A.
there, but yeah, but the problem is people are not picking her up yet, and we're still at the part where the burst is king, right? You can't
Mm.
out tank at this moment yet because people haven't gotten her up to that point. Like
Yeah,
if you look in Korea, she's dominating, she's everywhere, but not here.
yeah.
So it's not the same thing yet.
You need like max build for her just to get that true potential.
Yeah, because she needs high attack, health, and defense, and you want the speed on her. That's the problem. She needs all the main stats. So it's really hard if you don't really fucking max her.
I've seen a couple Dark Nines this week.
Oh yeah,
Like people have been picking them up. A lot of people have been asking me about them too because like my main Korean account was a Dark Nine account. Like I made him on there. I use him a lot in PvP. I think he's really strong at this point in the game. He's gonna wipe just about any and everything. I don't think his damage is like insanely broken.
no. The thing about him is the debuff extension, right? Like if you put him together with someone like Blue Lumi when we get her and she stuns them and he's extending that stun, he gets really fucking OP. But at this moment, no.
Uh,
He's not there. We
yeah,
don't have the characters to complement him yet.
yeah. So I definitely think he's B tier at best right now.
Yeah.
We almost forgot a booster while I was doing the Dark Rosanna, who's still prevalently high in the meta.
Yeah, she's actually one of my favorites to run in my team right now because I got so fucking good gear for her. So I have mine with over 100% crit rate and over 150 crit damage. So she's tanky as fuck and she's still hitting them hard.
Yeah, yeah, I see so many of those, like where it's like I opted out of the crit build I had her on just for more speed because I was getting cut in between my boosters. And I was like, I can't have that. Now I don't get cut in between them, but it's still pretty rough going up against a Rosanna that crits. It's like, oh wow,
Yeah, the thing about it, right, is she's still a solid S, at least in our meta, right? But her actual booster is both slower, like it doesn't have the same cooldown. Even if you max it, it's gonna be at 3 turns, while the others get up to 2 turn cooldown, so they can just keep on doing it.
right.
So she doesn't have the same cooldown, and it's not as high as the others. But she's really, really good. She's tanky, and you can build it for damage. So she's still up there and she's still used everywhere. So there's no real question about it.
Blue Pup for sure has been one of the top damage dealers that everybody use. Him and the Blue Helga, I think they S tier right now for furthest damage go because most people are playing with them like F2P or like casual spending, probably using Helga, and more of the pay to play Dolphins and Whales are using Blue Schneider.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Helga is really good. You get her for free. A lot of people build her before they start buying the other heroes. Even the payers use her still because they
Yeah.
haven't fully built the others, and she's viable. And Blue Pup is really, really good as well. So there's no question about them. They're probably the top two strikers at this point.
Right now. And then we got Red Pup that a few people have built. I seen him starting to show up a little more as
Yeah,
well. But he's not
I,
as common, so I would probably put him A tier just because not as many people are using him as there is Blue Pup and Helga users. Because like
right.
if he was more common, I'll probably just throw him in S tier as well. But since he's not as common,
Yeah,
but still
I
seeing,
agree actually. Like he's around the same damage.
then Red Joshua, I'll probably slap in A again for this week. He's kind of going out of favor since Arslan came in. It's like we don't need his
Yeah,
attack buff exactly, but there still have been people who've been using him. He's been falling off more and more as we come to the closing of the week, but he has been one that was used commonly throughout the week, but just not as much as he was prior. Then we got Fram, who, if I'm not mistaken, I think he changed it. It was one of the people at the very top that was running Fram on their defense. I'm not sure who it was.
number two for almost the entire week. I can't remember the name, but the guy that was a number two from like Monday to
Yeah,
Friday or Thursday was running Fram in his defense,
yeah,
and you still see her a lot as
yeah, a
well
lot.
because she does her job. That's the thing. Like you get it for free, and that if she is fast and gets that AOE stun off, you're fucked. Because then comes the boosters, then comes the AOE damage.
Yeah, yeah. It's been some Frams that's just crazy when you see them hit you.
Yeah, that debuff rate on her, and just go to town. I would probably like put her in A still. She's still a solid A. Like she's bordering to S, but she's starting to fall out of favor as well.
Yeah,
Like she's not being used as much now that Fram is in the game now,
yeah.
and people are opting for the action boost over the stuns.
And it's just like being as tanky is not as important now, but later on down the lines, I'm sure to see her make a rise again some point in the meta.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure of it. Like the stun meta is not that far away when that starts coming into play. When the third and the fourth contract heroes comes into play in like 1.5 2 months, that's when you start to see the stun meta come up again.
Oh yeah. And then we got the green Olivia. I had her S tier as last week, but where you think she's at? Because she's been an interesting one. There's been some teams that had some speed, more controlly type Olivias, and then there's been some teams that's more damage heavy with her.
I mean, she's an interesting one. I'll tell you that. She does a lot, and she's a bit all over the map. You know what I mean? Like you don't really see her built in a one consistent way. You don't see her as much, but you still do see her. Even in like the top 20, people are using her. So like, I don't think she deserves an S, to be honest, but she's pretty darn close to one. Like
Yeah.
I would put her in A, but she's really close to S, according to me.
Yeah. Because I'm like, last week she was just coming into the game, so everyone was building her, so you saw her everywhere. So it was like, it was no question she deserved that S spot then. But now that
Mm.
things are balancing out, I can see why she kind of comes down into the A bracket, where it's like she could be a S. But now one that I've seen that's shocking that is common, but it's like the way I've been looking at, he's been falling a little bit out of favor as well, and that is the Fire Johan. I have been seeing
Oh,
less of him, but I see him still
yeah.
commonly, but not as much as he was before.
Oh yeah, you still see him, but people were using him as the buffer before, you know.
Right,
Like remember that before Arslan, he was the main buffer people were using because he was in the first cash drop, right?
right.
But now with Arslan, that's better in pretty much every way. Then people are falling out of favor with him. He's still being used, just not as much. And he's still a really good pick. Like if you build him right, he's gonna be invulnerable. He's just gonna be standing there ulting one person after one person after one person after one person and being unkillable, unless you remove his buffs. And
Yeah,
not many people are using green astrids, so you know.
and we don't have the blue Joshua yet, so there's no.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I would still say he's a solid A as well, because he can be really really good, but people are removing him now because of better buffers, and that was his main use before, and he doesn't do that much compared to other single targets, you know, and he's not a cleric. That's the big thing, right? He
Right.
only has the cleric set to equip to him, but he's not a cleric. He heals a little bit and he makes himself invulnerable. But if he would be a striker or a warrior and get those sets, 10 times better.
If I'm correct, because I don't think anything else is being used if we have it currently in the game, is the blue Olivia. I've seen a couple more of her. She's not super common, but a lot of the top players, I would say a few of the top players are using her.
I agree. You see her not much, but every now and then you see her, and she is a good unit. But I mean, she's not an S tier, and honestly, I'm not even sure she is an A tier either. But the thing is, people prefer her with the defense debuff over the other Olivia's because she's cheaper, right?
Right.
She she's cheaper than the light one, and they prefer her having the defense debuff over having the green to action gauge decrease and snipe one.
Yeah, and she does have the sniper class too, so just
Yeah,
building
exactly.
building her pretty fast give you that extra burst, and you can just finish off your targets. Well, generally when I see her, the people that got her built pretty decently, and she does a lot of damage. I don't think one that I have been hit by I survived. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think she's still a pretty solid A tier right now.
we'll
Or
see if she picks up or not. Like, if more and more people start using her and start building her and ascending her, then she's gonna get even higher up there.
oh yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of these heroes start picking up and shaking up the meta a little more, because it's like some of them that don't seem like they could be good could be amazing. Could be amazing, but you know, it all depends on what people what to pick, and then what's been working based on the people that have been picking certain heroes within the meta. But you know, it's always about speed at the end of the day. So if you're faster, chances are you win anyway.
Oh, there's one you missed, like one that I've actually seen quite a lot the last 3 4 days,
Who's that?
and that's the purple Helga.
Oh yes, there has been some people playing with her.
Yeah, she's been starting to get picked up now because people are starting to build warriors now, and I don't know why, but they seem to be opting of putting away the blue Helga and putting in the purple Helga instead.
See, I got a secret strat that I'm working on that I don't want to discuss right now, and and warriors are perfect for it. And the Dark Helga will be like the best hero for this. Her and the Green Mei Ling, I think, are the best heroes for this strat that I kind of have going on in my head.
Okay, okay. Well, the turn increase and just defend, heal, and attack back.
Yeah. So yeah, and then her ability to take a turn again if she kills, like that's kind of crazy for the PvP. Like that's kind of crazy. I'm like right now since she's just getting in, I will probably put her A for now, but she could be S in the coming weeks.
Yeah, she could be. She's doing really, really well for a unit that people probably just recently picked up. Like she's doing a lot in the PvP for that when people are using her, but she's not up there yet.
Yeah, so yeah, let's end this here because this video has been long enough. But hey, I appreciate you coming on. We are live on Twitch too as well. So you can come check me out live at twitch.tv/gamerdude2088. Definitely would like to have more people on so we can sit and talk about this for like forever and have some crazy meta breakdown for each week. So be looking out every Monday for the PvP meta breakdown. This is your host, GamerDude2088, with my co-host, Chromia. Sorry, there we go.
It was fun being here. I hope I didn't piss too many people.
Somebody pick, like, why is this hero in B tier? They is A tier. All right, much love. Let's get this video to like 30 likes. Comment down below if you think something different, and subscribe if you're new here. Turn the post notifications on, and I'm out. Much love. God bless. Deuces.